All right, welcome to the 50th episode of the podcast. Can't believe we made it this far. And of course, I had to bring back one of our most popular show guests, and that is a great friend of mine, Mike Smith. Welcome back.
Hey, what's up, man?
I guess you can't believe that people want to hear from you again, right?
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna be real.
So let me start by talking about this big surprise you did. Now, so tell me how and why you pulled off this huge surprise of returning to Wrigley Field without even telling me. So I want to hear, the thought process behind all that.
I mean, I wouldn't call it a surprise. It was more like, yeah, I should go to work today. I don't know. So like, I've been on the schedule, but it's been kind of cool being at home, and like hanging out with the baby. And then like COVID didn't do my body well, right? So I needed to like de-stress. I needed to eat healthier, exercise more. So working a lot at Wrigley and doing other stuff just wasn't probably the right thing, if that makes sense. So I wanted to come back probably in June. Well, not June, take that back, in July. But the way things were going, I said, I'll try August. And I was like, let's see what happens with September. And so I thought working the weekend games in September would be fun. But it wasn't like, I didn't really like plan it. It was more like, this is a good time, if that makes sense. I don't know.
So I get to work that morning, and I walk around the corner, and Frank, is Mike gonna be here? So everybody knows that I know you, talk to you. Frank, Mike's on the schedule. Like, he's not coming. I just talked to him last night. Let's have Eric, you can go and do this over here because he's not coming. And then I tried to call you, you answer the phone, like, yeah, he's not coming.
Yeah, I can't even find my phone.
And again, I'm like, I just talked to him last night, and he did not even bring up this coming back thing. So
well, you didn't ask, or I would have told you. Like, are you coming to work tomorrow? I'm like, oh yeah, I'll be there. You didn't go work, right? So
never crossed my mind even. Then you do come up and show up, and you walk into the room, and it was like Jesus had came back to the earth. Everybody's clapping and happy. It was pretty cool to see that kind of response in the supervisor room. Don't you think?
I still think people were making fun of me. Like, oh, he finally showed up. I don't know if it was the other way around, but it was nice to see everybody. And it was nice to come back because it didn't seem like much has changed. It's like we had gate chief, even though I don't know if that's a thing, but she was gate chief that day, right? So it was
Now let's back up a little bit, because when you said things have not changed, you immediately came back and put me to work. That's how you got it.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Like, Frank, this is what I want. Make it happen. I'm like, what? Wait, what? This way and this way. Now I can think they'll change. They got to do this. But it worked out. They got it done.
Yeah, we figured out how to move stuff around, and we were able to do it for that day. I mean, it was cool. It was, I don't know, it was cool. So I've been working, what, 4 months almost? Like when last time I worked, the Cubs had like a 10-game lead and we're in first place, right?
Yep.
So it's been a long time. It was just cool. See everybody doing well. So I know a lot of people aren't. I don't know, it was fun, working is supposed to be fun. I felt like we had a lot of fun this past weekend. Even with run the bases, right? Kind of sitting there, kind of doing what we normally would do in those situations. It was it was like it was like 3-4 years ago, right? It was a good time in that moment. So
yes. Well, I would say maybe 3-4 years ago, I would say back when the attendance was 20,000, I would say. But I mean, yeah, sure.
That made it even more fun, right? It's like, oh,
yes.
And it was what game was that? Saturdays? No, Sunday's game when it was 3 grand slams, right?
Yeah.
Games are so competitive. But it was still a boring game, right? Because like, what are we playing for at this moment? But they won like what, 7-8 games in a row?
I think 8 today. No, 7,
Eight,
7, 7.
seven, yeah. So I mean, something to hold your head up in the season strong. Maybe end the year on a good foot and start off next year better. I don't know with the Cubs sometimes. I mean, I love them, and I think that's a good thing and a bad thing, right?
Yes, but let's talk about what you were doing when you were not with the Cubs. And Floyd joked with us the other day. He's like, Frank, I think that Mike's gonna be the president of the teachers union.
Nah, nah, nah.
But tell the audience, tell people, what you do union wise. We didn't discuss that.
So I work in CPS, and as a result of being a Chicago public teacher, I'm in the CTU, and I got a little bit more active within the CTU, and it's been a good thing for a couple of reasons. Working in Chicago public schools, there's a lot that goes on in the communities that impacts a student's ability to learn, right? And therefore it impacts my ability to provide quality education. And sometimes you gotta go beyond the classroom to support students. And my work in the union is all about, how can we make education better for the city of Chicago? So we do things like door knocking, calling people, speaking to people just to see, what are some issues that's going on that impact my ability to live and ultimately, provide for my children, ultimately students to do well in school. And so I've got a lot more involved with that aspect of it within the union, and it's been rewarding, and it's been really cool. It's been tough because you talk to people and you kind of learn that there are a lot of things that maybe teachers can't address, right? But the whole idea of listening and talking and understanding what people go through makes a big difference in the way you approach teaching. So yeah, it's here comes my daughter. It's
Olivia.
yeah, she just let the dog in, and she's here too. Hey girl. Oh, really? I'm sorry.
No, that's great. They want to see her, I'm sure.
Well, she's got out the bath. She's supposed to be drinking her milk. Where's your milk? Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, I'm talking to Frank. Can you grab? Yeah, I think they wanted to see her, but now they all left. They're gone. Sorry.
No, they're good. They're good.
So.
But that's the question. What do you say? What do you say to people who say who think that the teachers union, the ones that say the teachers union when they go on strike, they're putting themselves before the kids, or they're what do you say when some people are like on the fence when it comes to strikes and things like that when they say striking kids are out of school? Like, what do you say to those people? What do you say to them?
Well, I don't think it's not that I want to say anything to them. It's more like we just got to kind of listen a little bit more, right? And I think what they're trying to say is teachers should be teaching, right? Like that's your job, right? But they forget the whole point that teachers are people, right? I mean, we pay taxes just like anyone else. We have kids just like anyone else. We're mothers, we're fathers, right? We have kids in schools, and it's that kind of language that separates teachers or anybody from the community that makes it okay to kind of drag teachers in the mud, right? Because we don't consider them the same. Just like we say, oh, the boss, right? And it's not that, it's more of we're people in the community, and as a person in the community, in which I live. I want my community to thrive, right? And for people who just look at the union, the Chicago Teachers Union, as someone who just should focus solely on just teaching. Well, the question is kind of what I said. Teaching is difficult when the child who you're trying to teach has so many things going on, and people lose sight of that. People lose sight of the violence, right? The poverty that's in our city, that's in some of these neighborhoods. And I mean, that is real to those kids, and those kids come to school every day. Sometimes after losing someone to violence, they come right into the school building. And, you talk to that kid and it's like, man, you came here after experiencing that. How are you? What can I do? And it's like, man, the kid sometimes says, I just can't do it. And it's like, as a teacher, you feel some kind of, I don't say responsibility, but it's like, what can I do to help this kid? So that's what really pushes you beyond the classroom. It's understanding the conditions in which a lot of our students live. And to simply ignore that and say you should just focus on teaching does a disservice to the student, to the family, and to the community. So that's why I got more involved in the union, because the work goes way beyond just focusing on somebody getting a paycheck, right? We try to help our students who have no homes. We call them houseless, right? We look a lot at health concerns, especially now, right? How can a kid come to school if they don't have a place to stay, right? And so I guess for those people who you point out, and I don't want to separate them from like caring people, because I know everyone cares, but there are a lot of things that some of us don't realize that exist in our school communities. And as teachers, we see it every day, right? Like the west side of Chicago, like you will assume that most schools have a librarian and a library, right, Frank?
Yeah.
West side of Chicago, there's one librarian.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just things like that that just isn't apparent, because like when I went to school, it was like this. And that's just not the case. I mean, I think about some of the nurses and how many buildings they have to travel to. And they're responsible for something like 300 kids, one nurse, right? Like, how can one person travel between all these schools and help 300 kids adequately? So when I think about what I support the union with, it's that whole idea of teaching the whole kid, right? And I wish structurally our city had better things in place to support everyone more equitably, but it just doesn't exist. And so for someone who teaches in a community that's, has a lot of challenges, for someone who goes to a school who might not have all the resources, you just want me to go into the building and just teach, right? Don't say that, yo, man, we don't have any copy paper. I was at a school, we didn't have any paper. Not the school I'm at now, it's a couple schools ago. We didn't have any paper. None. Not just for one day, for like a couple of months. And it's like, well, what can we do? Well, that's what teachers are doing, going out buying paper, using both sides, recycling stuff. And these are the challenges. These are just like real small ones. I mean, you can talk to tons of teachers and they can kind of tell you what's going on. And when I think of our solidarity within the union, it's about not addressing the difficulties that teachers face, it's addressing the difficulties that communities face, school communities, and how to lift that up and bring attention to it in a way that makes things. How about this? They give children a fairer shot at being successful in school. Because there's a lot of work that needs to be done, and I can like go into like detail with some of the stuff that, you know, children have told me and things I've dealt with on a personal level. And it just makes you think. I'll put it to you like this. So I was maybe my second year in CPS. I was teaching on the South Side, and I was focused on kids doing well in school, like everybody else. My job as a teacher, you need to come to school, you need to do the work. This is how you're going to make a better life for yourself, right? And I was explaining this to one student, and he's like, yo, Mr. Smith, like, I get what you're saying, right? I understand. But what does that mean for me, a person who doesn't have a social security number? I said, so what are you trying to say? He's like, I can't work. I can't even go to college when I graduate high school. What are you trying to tell me? And it was in that moment that I recognized that my role as a teacher needs to go beyond just telling this kid, come to class, do this. If I truly wanted to support them in being successful with their life. And I mean, that's a real story. He actually passed away last year too, that kid. I don't have to go into details about it, but these are the things that a lot of teachers in the city, and probably not just Chicago, to be honest, deal with on a daily basis, right? Like, I wish I could go into a building, sit down, do my work, have my lunch, and leave, right? How it goes, right? After I talk to you, I got to look at some emails because I haven't checked my emails in a couple of days. And there's some issues going on in my school that need to be addressed. And I need to get out in front of it and support our school the best I can so that, you know, we can keep moving forward in a really difficult and trying situation. So that's a long drawn out answer. I'm pretty sure you're going to edit some stuff, but
No, I mean, the last part you said about, I feel like I do this similar thing at Wrigley Field. Like when those young people come to work there, I sort of feel like I go beyond their ushering or the security. I'm like, what are you doing at home, and how are you evolving as a man, or what, what's negatively affecting you? Why are you late for work, or why can't you afford the belt, or why are your shoes not black or whatever, as opposed to let me write them up because they're late or whatever.
Right. That's exactly right, man. You'd be a good teacher because those are the things you look for. Those are the things you got to think about. I wish we didn't have to, but understanding the world isn't as, I guess, fair isn't the right word, but isn't as fair as we would like it to be. We have to consider those things, especially when you're in positions to make a difference. Because the reality is, for me, probably for you too, life wasn't as simple as people make it out to be. And the question comes, if you're ever in a position, understanding where you came from and understanding how difficult life was for you, what would you do for a person in your shoes? And when I think about that, I think about things I had to endure, even though it wasn't as challenging as some of the kids that I talk to, not nearly as challenging. I ask myself that, right? And that's kind of how I approach it. I don't want to be complacent with my success, saying, oh, I did it. Why can't you do it? Look how hard I did it. Well, if I can make things simpler for someone, why wouldn't I? And I think when people counter that is, well, they need to be challenged, they need to work hard. Well, you can work hard without having to live hard, right? And I think I think at times people conflate the two. You have to have a hard life to work hard to do something. Well, you can work really hard and not have as hard of a life, especially if someone can make things simpler. So that's kind of my approach when it comes to teaching. That's kind of my approach with doing some of this broader work. It's about how can I make the roadblocks that I know existed, some of the ones that I face, not roadblocks for some of the people coming up now because of, my place. So yeah.
Just having a discussion with Jordan yesterday, who was going through some stuff that he wanted to go through on his own, and I'm like, Jordan, I went through the storm. You don't have to get wet. And
Exactly.
it took me a while. It took me saying a couple of times, and he got it. But yeah, I go through the storm. I'm telling you all this, what's going to happen, how to do it, whatever. I go through the storm so that you don't have to get wet. If you get wet now because you chose to
right.
go wet. So I definitely feel what you're saying.
Yeah. Here's an umbrella. I don't want it. Man, it's gonna rain.
Yeah. Yes. 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 Now, usually when I'm in a room, people always say that I'm the smartest one in the room and whatever. And that is thrown right out the window when you come in the room because you have so many degrees that, I don't even compare. So
I just like to read, man.
That's like all these degrees that you have.
Yeah. So
not only degrees, master degrees, but go ahead.
So I read a lot, let's put it that way. So I got 2, finishing up 3 and getting a PhD, but I took some time off this past year. So yeah, I just, I put it to you this way. When I was in college, undergrad, it was an eye-opening experience for me, right? So I went to school, went to Purdue in Indiana, not thinking it was different than Chicago, because in Indiana, like when I think of Indiana, I think of Hammond, right? Hammond is like right there. So I'm not thinking it's different until I actually went, and it took me about 4 weeks into my first year at Purdue to realize, man, I'm in the middle of nowhere. Where are all the brothers, right? I was confused. 2 and 2 didn't make 4, right? 1 and 1 didn't make 2 when I was there first. And then, it was that realization that I had to reassess where I was. And in that moment of reassessing, I did a lot of learning. And it was talking to different groups of people. So I kind of had to find my place. And I remember our Black Cultural Center. I went there at Purdue. I started talking to just other students, right? And then those students led me to talk to professors and taking certain classes. And then I met different people, right? It just wasn't Black kids, I really had a really diverse group of friends. And it was in learning about them and their experiences that really helped me pick classes and connect with professors. And it was in those moments when I realized there was so much more to know. And it was this drive for knowledge that kind of push me to read, literally read. And it was in this reading that I said, oh, maybe I should take a class or 2. And then I apply to school and I get in, and there I go doing that. And that's kind of where I am. So right now I'm looking at United States history to get a master's in that. Because I think what has happened over the past, year and a half with how people are reassessing what they know, I felt I need to reassess how I looked at things. And, what better way to do that is to learn more about what I think I know, right? So I don't know where this desire to learn really came from, but it is more of a way to understand my place in the world. And that's kind of why I said that story about Purdue, me learning about things helps me learn about not just the world, but how I fit into it. And And yeah, I guess that's what's up.
Yeah, my philosophy is to never stop learning. Like always try to learn.
Mhm.
When I got into this podcasting thing, I told David I was gonna just be learning about it and learning about it and learning about it. And look at me now. I'm like this pro in podcasting because I never stopped learning. And I was telling my a friend of mine the other day, all of this craziness about the virus and politics is coming from the people who have stopped learning. When they got out of school, they stopped learning. So these people here are just believe whatever they see on social media, whatever they believe, whatever,
Mhm.
because
Yeah,
they
man,
stopped
that's
learning.
real.
And all the people that have continued learning are like, what y'all talking about?
Right. I think the best thing I heard about like learning is, do you know enough about something? Like people feel they know enough about something to know when they're right, but really knowing something is to know enough about something to know when you're wrong, right? And I'm not sure if enough people know enough about something to know when they're given the wrong information or they're just wrong in general. And the pandemic, which is still going on, by the way, right? We all know this, is one of those scenarios. Because like you said, when you try to have a conversation with someone, they kind of tell you, no, 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 I already know. Things change literally day to day for the past, 2 years with this. So
Yeah.
it's impressive how you know the future already. And
The basic understanding of science, or just, I mean, it just, I don't know. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know.
it's I don't want to say it's touchy. I mean, not at this point with everything we do know. And based on prior experiences, what we can expect, right? So there's that future telling thing again. But I think we need to sometimes slow down and listen. And then maybe not talk, just listen, and then kind of just play it in your head a few times and see if it makes sense. Because most people are intelligent, regardless of what they show you. Um, and I feel that most people can reason if given an opportunity. But I think maybe emotion gets in the way, or sometimes themselves get in the way of that ability to come to some kind of rational, like, I won't say thought, but come to some kind of rational understanding, I guess, about that kind of stuff. So I don't know.
Okay. So I was supposed to be going down to South Carolina, I think 2 years ago, or maybe 1 year ago, because you were supposed to be getting married
Yeah,
in
that
Corona.
didn't. Yeah, that didn't. Yeah, no.
So tell us about this proposal. I don't know the
Well,
story.
there really isn't a story.
Okay.
There really isn't a proposal. Where she's asleep, I hope. So yeah, we were supposed to have a wedding, right? We were supposed to have a wedding. It's been moved twice because we have kids. And looks like is moved again, right? So we were
Now,
supposed
did I noticed you said kids?
uh-huh. Yep, another one's on the way.
Breaking news here. Yeah.
Yep, November, a girl. I'm the luckiest girl dad in the world. All I want is a boy so I can name him Mikey. That's all I want. But God gives you what you need, right?
There was no big proposal. There was no doves and no fireworks, and you didn't rent out Soldier Field. And
I mean, that's not a bad idea, right? I mean, like in my head, that's how it played out. But in reality, it was more like, yeah, let's go do this. That's kind of how it happened. So yeah, it happened a while ago. And we were supposed to like have the wedding like right after, right? It was like, oh, then we have the wedding, blah, blah, blah. We can start saving for it, planning for it. So got married, I don't know, 4, 5 years ago, a while ago. And then we planned the wedding after that. So save money, make plans, right? So how people do it nowadays, right? Usually, the parents have some kind of big endowment. Say, oh my God, here you go. Oh, right? So that didn't exactly happen for us. So it's more like working to do it and slowly planning it. I mean, we planned most of it at a bar with our friends, right? Wrote a lot of stuff on cocktail napkins as we were drinking. That
I think that's fitting for you, though. I think that's fitting.
right? I mean, let's be honest. So, my Kyle Olivia was supposed to have been a boy. I just knew Olivia was going to be a boy, right? So we were in a bar when we were planning his name, all right? And so Olivia's name was supposed to be Glenn. That was his name. It's gonna be Kyle Glenn. That was the name for Olivia before she was born. This is one before we knew she was a girl. So in the bar, we were talking about how to spell Glenn, right? Was it 2 N's or 1 N? So it was a big conversation about how to spell it. And everybody we knew in the bar was in on the conversation. We were drinking. And I think the bar took a vote. And I think it was like something like 12 to like 7 on having 2 N's opposed to 1. I wanted the 1 N. The people was on my, I don't even know half the people, right? There's just people in the bar. But I lost. So Kyle Glenn was supposed to be Kyle Olivia's name when I thought she was a boy, but she is a girl. And so the second kid, I just knew it was a boy. So I already named him too. His name was going to be Tracy Glenn, because we didn't use Glenn. So Kyle Olivia, and this was going to be Tracy Glenn, right? Tracy Glenn Smith. It's a perfect name, superstar name, Tracy Glenn Smith.
Yeah.
Brother gonna be bad at whatever he do. So Tracy turns into a girl again. So there's no Tracy. I think we're gonna name the baby Riley Glenn. I think we still keep the Glenn. But we'll see. If we have another kid, I got another name already lined up, but I'm not gonna put it out there yet because every time I do it, it turns out to be a girl.
All right.
So this time, I'm just gonna wait.
Right.
And I ain't gonna say nothing until so we actually see what happens. And hopefully it's a boy. But if it's not a boy, I'm still gonna give him the name because we'll just see how it goes. But that's just kind of where I am.
Now, I'm infatuated with Cane's.
The chicken place, right?
Yes, and now they just added Louisiana hot sauce to there. But I'll say that to say, you currently live less than a minute away from Cane's. So since you are expanding the family and you may be going to 4 and 5 until you get a boy,
7. I'm gonna stop at 7. 7 is a completion number.
Completion, yes. We got you're Baptist now, yeah. So, because of that, you definitely will have to move at some point. So I need you to keep me in mind for your place when you do eventually move, because I will make that Cane's place rich.
And they'll probably learn your name, man. I mean, that's how Clark Street works. You go into a place enough and see the same person, they learn your name, you get all kind of stuff. I mean, for a good 12 years of my life, I knew every bartender, every manager, every piece of play. I don't know how they knew. I think because I'm loud when I drink, I kind of make a scene maybe. So maybe that's how they knew me, especially when I was younger. Now I go into the places, I'm just quiet. Nobody knows who I am. I kind of like to keep it that way.
You just remember your friend when it's time to move, because I will be a Cane's. I would invest in that place.
I mean, I got you, dog. Yeah, probably will have to move though. Pretty soon.
You need a yard now, and you have probably getting more animals. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, I do want to get. So we lost Karen the cat. Karen the cat passed away. So we still got Clint Eastwood. He's actually asleep right now. Half his body's in the bathroom and half is in the hallway. I'm looking at him. But he's pretty old. He's having some troubles. But hopefully, he hangs in there. I'm not gonna give up on him. But I know this is bad to say. I am thinking ahead, right? I do want to get some new pets, right? It's really exciting. I do want to get a new cat, and I want to get some new dogs. I want to get two this time. I got two kids, get two dogs. And I'm thinking of Dobermans. One named Dwayne Johnson and the other one named Denzel Washington. So Dwayne and Denzel will be two Dobermans. See, D&D, get it? So that
so on the topic of, so since you brought up Dwayne and Denzel, I actually have on my list to ask you about movies because I'm curious to see if we have the same taste in movies. So what are some of your favorite movies?
Oh man. Okay. So I'm weird, dude. I like something about the 80s. I'm a fan. So Batman 1989.
Okay.
One of my favorite movies. Misery, Kathy Bates.
Kathy Bates. Okay. She's good. I like her.
It's a great movie, man. I know you've seen it with James Caan.
Yeah, I've seen it, yeah.
He like flips out on him all of a sudden. You think she like this nice lady. He's like, oh my God, she saved this man from the snowstorm. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, wait a second, right? So those are two of my favorite. And then Rain Man with Dustin Hoffman and Tom Cruise. I felt Tom Cruise deserved an Oscar for that. He was really good in that movie. But another great movie. And then you have to go back to the 70s to my other two to round out my top 5. And that would be Jaws.
Ooh, yeah.
Great movie, man. Everybody's terrified of sharks for some reason.
Yeah. From
that movie. Like, it is a great movie.
Yeah.
And then don't laugh. The remake of King Kong 1976 with Jessica Lange and Jeff Daniels.
Yeah.
Can watch that movie all the time. I think it's a good movie to watch, put myself to sleep. Something about the gorilla like blowing. It's so silly that I'll enjoy it.
But not the new one with Jack Black.
It was a bit long, right? I thought it was great. Like, they did a really good job. I get it, right? I got it. It was great. But for nostalgia reasons, like, if I want to watch the King Kong over, I would watch the one where he like it's just really funny. It's silly. I would argue that it's a horrible, great movie. Right? They made a roller coaster after it in Universal Studios. How can you get a roller coaster after you're a great movie, right? That's just Jaws, Batman, all great movies. All got roller coasters.
So mine is probably gonna be weird to you, but
what? I'll probably seen it. I watch a lot of movies.
So my favorite movie of all time that I can watch any day, all day, more than once is Good Will Hunting.
Really?
I think that the whole mentoring thing sort of kind of relates to me some kind of way. The whole mentoring.
It's a great movie. That's with Robert Williams, right?
Yeah. Matt Damon, Ben Affleck. But I think the whole thing about mentoring this tough kid that nobody wants to deal with. I think I can relate to that some kind of way.
It's a good movie, man. It's a good one. Everybody
I love that movie.
I don't know if I can watch it over and over again.
I can watch it. Like, especially that scene where, he's like, why does my dad want me? And that's your fault. Like, that whole thing, just like, that's me. That's me. That's
Is that the movie when he was in the bar and he's like, the dude was like, spin out these facts, like regurgitate facts stuff? Oh, yeah. I do. I like that scene.
Yes.
That's a good one.
My favorite franchise. What else you got? My favorite franchise, Jurassic Park. I love the Jurassic Park franchise.
Really?
Love it. I think because when I went to high school, our field trip was to see the first Jurassic Park. For science, we went on a bus to see Jurassic Park, and I saw it in this big 3D thing. And from that moment forward, watching these dinosaurs come out of it was 3D, come out of the screen. It was just amazing. Cool. It was an amazing.
I mean, the first one was good too. It was kind of scary too. Like some moments where you was kind of nervous. So, but they kind of fell off, in my opinion, after that.
I can watch them all day. I can watch them all day.
I mean, all right, I get it. Both of those movies are movies I would watch. Right, I would definitely.
My last one. Let me get my last one though. So if you like, my last one is kind of somewhat a guilty pleasure. I hate to say out loud, but it's Home Alone.
Can't be worse than me and King Kong. Home Alone.
Yes.
That's a great movie.
I love Home Alone.
I love it too. I can quote all the lines. My father took me to go see that at the Dollar Show. Remember the Dollar Show?
Yeah.
Dollar Show was like on 87th in Harlem.
Yeah.
We went to go see Home Alone at the Dollar Show. I remember seeing that. That's a good one, man.
I'm like, how these robbers not dying? These movies are gonna kill them in real life. Like, how are they not dead?
You know what? Now that you say that, You're right.
In Home Alone 2, Macaulay Culkin's on top of a building with some bricks.
And he throws him
and he hit him in the head, straight in the head. Like,
that's not funny anymore. That you just ruined Home Alone for me, dog. Because their head should have busted open.
Yes.
What, 3 stories up? And
yeah, 4 bricks. Yes.
This is no longer funny. You just ruined Home Alone for me because you're right. Yes.
I love that movie.
People. Well, I mean, this is a self-defense though, but I don't know if that's still appropriate for kids.
Yeah.
I can't let my daughter watch that now because she might try to throw a brick at my head and it's gonna end up totally different. Whole different conversation.
Yes. And after speaking of your daughter, before I forget, I made this promise to Audrey. So since how am I saying this wrong? I'm saying it wrong. Scentsy. Yeah. These products, by the way, that Audrey is selling. I love this lemon one. This is a lemon counter cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. So
I like that too.
The smell, like my house, oh my God. Like
the smell, right?
I spray it in the bathroom, in the garbage cans in my house, whatever. So when I open the garbage cans up, they don't smell bad. They smell like lemon. Yeah,
and it's not like it's like a good lemon. It's like lemon is a fruit, but it's like fruity, you know?
Yes.
It's lemony.
And so there is going to be a link in the show notes. Everybody go down to the show notes to Scentsy.us to see some of these products. It's for a great cause, so make sure you go out and support. I'm going to be ordering some more of this right when I get done.
I like that stuff.
Yes, I love this lemon thing. My God. And
I wish all the sprays smell like that. I mean, like, why can't you do that? Since he can figure it out, why can other people? Like, that's why I like the Scentsy, because I'm like, because I love cleaning, right? Everybody wants a nice, clean house, but the smell, you cough and right? Because I was doing something with some Clorox. Was cleaning the wall because the baby threw food all over it, right? So I had to really scrub it out. So I use the Clorox. I'm like, why am I spraying this stuff? I'm coughing and I can't figure it out. So I grabbed that stuff. And actually was smiling when I was cleaning it because it smelled better, you know. But I don't get why they can't make the chemicals, wherever they put in there, smell better. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. Sorry.
Somebody rang my doorbell. I don't know who it was, and I hate when people just show up to my house. I hate that so much. Like,
it ain't me.
Let me know. But the doorbell had rang, and I'm like, yeah, who is it? And it was a family member. I'm like, oh my God, I did have an appointment with them today. So
wait, you have an appointment with your family member?
I'm busy. Yes, it was about investing though, teaching how to invest. That requires time.
Oh, okay. So it was more like okay. All
right. You can't just show up. Investing requires some time to teach them, but and I just didn't have time to clean up everything. So what I did was, instead of cleaning up stuff, I went and sprayed this around my house. I was just cleaning. When they came in, they're like, oh my God, this smells so good in this house. That took their attention away from all the boxes of shirts that I had laying around. This is how good it is. This is how good that is. Yeah.
Smells can change your whole day, man. It's like, what is that? Right? You just, whatever you was thinking about, your mind just go away. It's like, ooh, what is that? You see that too. And you always want somebody to smell it with you, right? When you smell something. What is that about? I mean, I do it all the time, especially when I'm in the car and I'm driving. Ooh, you smell that? Right? I don't know why, but.
But when you're in the car, and do you ever turn the music down to see what that smell is?
Oh yeah, who doesn't? Who doesn't? Because you got to think.
Right.
Music is distracting.
Yes.
Forget the fact that I'm driving on the highway, right? I'm distracted by a sound, and I'm searching for smell. Who cares about the car that's put the brakes on in front of me because they can't merge? But I want to, that's real.
And you got a baby now too, so there's a new
smell. Lord.
You have to smell it.
I access sometimes. I look back. When you smell that, take your hand off the road. That's exactly what you want to do. Look in the back seat. You know they have to sit the car seat backwards.
Yeah.
You got to look all the way over while you're on the highway. So yeah, smells are distracting, but they're wonderful when you get a good one. You know what I mean? Sometimes they're not. Sometimes sometimes you get that smell is more like. What happened, right? I like nice. Who doesn't like a nice smell?
I just went to Vegas And when I came back, I put the key halfway in the door, and I'm like, I'm praying to God that this garbage out, because when I open this door,
Oh hell, I've done that before.
when I open this door, if I didn't hit the garbage out, I'm in a week in Vegas, it's gonna be on. And luckily, I opened the door, and
Especially left food.
I did the garbage out. So,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you leave the house, certain things you just can't leave in the house, right?
Yeah.
And I've been there before. You
Yeah.
know, it's just, I don't know. Sometimes it's how you feel when you leave. Like, are you in a rush to make it to where you need to go? Or did you prepare and you got time to do everything you said you needed to do?
Yeah.
And sometimes I wish I didn't rush, because when I come back home, it's like, man, I've been on vacation, but now shit, I gotta clean up. I got no towels.
Yeah.
I took all my good underwear with me, right? Man, I need to go back on the trip, right? So I done been there before. One time we took a road trip. I forgot where we went. Just when we lived over on Clark. No, it was Sheffield. Lived off Clark and Sheffield right there. And we left the dog, and my brother was in charge of the dog. I don't know why we ain't put him in the kennel. Yeah. And like, I left in the rush, and I kind of gave my brother instructions, but I kind of gave him bad instructions. It's more like, you know my dog, you know me, you know what to do. Well, no, he doesn't. This is not his dog. It's not his house. Right? He don't know the rules, the schedule. So when we came back, it was I wish I was still on vacation, put it to you like that, because we got home late and I had to stay up late cleaning the house, and you can just imagine what dogs do in the house if they ain't been out the house in quite some time. And it was clear that my brother was unaware that animals use the bathroom more than once a day. So it was horrible. But now we take them to the kennel, to the trainer. The trainer takes good care of the dog, and you can stay there. Yeah, sometimes you just got to pay for it, right? Take them to a kennel. Well, they call it boarding, right?
Yeah.
Like, don't say kennel, right? Take them to boarding. Boarding is expensive. My brother is not, right? You get what you pay for. I'll put it to you that way. You get what you pay for, and I paid dearly for just not doing the right thing. It's like when you move, right? Like, you ever been that person that move yourself?
Yes. Yeah.
Like, that's like, why? The question is why.
Right.
And I will never move myself again. It's horrible. You got to rent a truck. You got to put a credit card down. You got to do a deposit. You got to fill it up. You got to get used to driving the truck. Then after all of that, you got to get the truck to the house. Now you got less than 24 hours to get your whole house in this truck. Take all that stuff to the other place, unpack it, gas the truck up, and drop it off before they charge you for an extra day.
Yeah.
Like, who wants to do that? And then when you start moving the stuff in and out the house, you find out that you really ain't pack well, because you have to rush to go get the truck in the first place. You say, I'll just pack when I get back. And then you spend the whole day packing, and you move it. As soon as you move your first box, you sweating, then you call somebody to come help you. And they say they're going to help you, but they don't want to help you. They show up the next day when it's all over. It's just a horrible experience. Just pay the money. It's worth it. And on my computer about that, I talk too much. Look at my charger. Is that okay? Can you do that?
All right. So another thing that we have in common somewhat is that, so people think that I'm vegan, but I'm not. I just like the taste of some vegan foods. Basically,
It's an acquired taste.
I would eat anything pretty much, but
it's an acquired taste.
No, I don't know if I told you this, Mike, but there is a brand new vegan deli by my house now. Food, pastrami, roast beef, all vegan.
But roast beef is meat.
So it's pastrami, but it's not real. It's plant-based. It's all vegan.
Really?
The whole deli.
Cold cuts, vegetarian cold cuts.
Yeah, the whole deli. Now, is there a vegan thing that you actually like? Like, is there a vegan product you like?
I don't know.
Have you tried the Impossible Whopper yet?
Oh yeah, that's good. I like that, and then White Castle's got that Beyond.
That I haven't tried yet.
Never tasted like a White Castle burger. I mean,
It
right?
does.
Yeah. Same thing with the Impossible Whopper. Tastes just like a Whopper.
What about the KFC, the Impossible Chicken?
They got Impossible Chicken.
Yes.
I ain't had no Impossible Chicken.
Yes.
I might have to try that. I ain't been to KFC in a minute because of the smell. There we go again with the smell. You go to KFC, you need chicken, right? You just can't. Like it's a Popeyes right here off Western.
Yeah.
Always smell it. Sometimes with canes you can smell it. So I tried to cross the street, so I'll get tempted. But I haven't tried that before. But I mean,
I just feel like if they can convince Black people that this fried chicken tastes the same as a plant, that's the same as the real thing, they won.
oh yeah. Because I mean, I haven't tried it, so I don't know.
Either, yeah.
But maybe I need to because it sounds interesting. Because I mean, I like the vegan food. I do. It's an acquired taste, right?
Right.
It's a good replacement when you want to like indulge.
Yeah.
But like, I try not to. Keywords try. I don't know how successful I am. I try not to eat that a lot because it's still not really healthy, right? It's an alternative, but it's if you want to eat some vegetables, right? Eat some fruit. So I try to live that lifestyle, but it's COVID, being locked in, going through a second pregnancy now, right? Sometimes you need some of that indulgent food just to make it through the day, right? Sometimes you sitting there and we look at each other like Dairy Queen sound real good, don't it? Yeah, let's go Dairy
Did
Queen.
you know the ice cream at Wrigley Field is plant-based?
Really?
It's Oatly ice cream. It's not the regular. Yeah, did you know that? They changed it this year.
I don't know about no plant-based ice cream. That's
it's Oatly oat milk.
cheap.
It's Oatly ice cream now.
Oh,
That's right. That's right. I haven't tried it yet. I'm scared. We gotta try it though.
Because I don't know, because I didn't had plant-based ice cream and cheese. That tastes different.
Okay.
Sorry, it's something about the salt and the dairy that whatever they create it with, because it's not real, even if it is like milk or whatever. Like stuff we get ain't really real. But whatever they do to it, they don't do the same to it with the vegan style, right? I mean, I'll try it with you, but you got to buy it because I already know I ain't gonna like it. Because where was I at? Had a vegan milkshake. What's that place on Halsted? Chicago Diner, right? They got some good vegetarian vegan options. It's a great place. Well, let me get the shake. It's like, yeah, no dairy. I'm like, for real, no dairy? Oh, let me try it. And I mean, like, it was close, right? But you could, like, for me, I love ice cream, put you like that. And, I can tell it's sherbet from sorbet, how you put it, to yogurt. I can tell the difference. Don't ask me how I know. I just know. And that one I know I ain't like. I put you like that. So you on your own with the ice cream, but if you buy it, I will definitely try it. And I will probably look at you and say, yeah, this is delicious. And then I will walk away and throw it out somewhere. It's just so I won't be rude to your face. But I'm an honest person. I probably shouldn't have told you that, huh?
My friend had a barbecue, and I went to the barbecue, and I had the regular food for us. My friend is vegan, so my friend had barbecued cauliflower that he swore tastes like these barbecue wings. Just swore.
Nah, it's probably not true.
So I'm just like, okay, let me go ahead and try them. And I tried it. I'm just like, this is cauliflower.
Right.
This is cauliflower.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You're like, nah, that's not how this works, man.
Yes. It's got some chicken. It's got some chicken and seasoning on it. I can taste the seasoning, but it's
cauliflower. Yeah, I mean that's real though. Like, I'm real, okay? So like, eating vegetarian, eating vegan, all this stuff, whatever reason people say it, all do this. Like, it's a lifestyle change. Like you have to change your lifestyle to eat this type of way. And like, I wasn't brought up like that. So I've been eating this way, I don't know, 100 years. And now all of a sudden I got to automatically switch. I don't think anybody can just automatically switch. And like, it's not easy to listen to people saying, oh, you should do this, you should do that. I mean, who are you to tell me what I should do, right? But it's more like, well, here are the benefits of doing these things, right? And how does this fit into your life, right? Is it easy for me to eat cauliflower chicken?
Right.
Well, no, because I mean, I got a barbecue, I got a season of this, I got 18 kids, I get off at 12 o'clock at night, so it's more of like, how do I incorporate this healthy eating into my lifestyle? And like, that's the process I'm going through, right? So like when I say I'm like a vegan or a vegetarian, it's not that I am, it's more that I'm in the process of learning how to eat more healthy with everything else that's going on in my life. And I'm gonna be real, the 2 pregnancies, I kind of got away from that. I was doing real good for a minute. I come home, like, man, some broccoli sound good right now. I could tear some broccoli up, boy. It's tearing that, get a salad. Ooh, salad, right? And then, you sitting there, wife pregnant. She said, ooh, don't know, Reese's Blizzard sound good. That do sound good. I mean, sound way better than broccoli and salad right now, right? And a couple of months of doing that, that broccoli coming home don't sound good no more. Getting the Reese's Blizzard sound a lot better. We've been doing it the past 2 months. Why not? So it's all about getting away from that again and getting back into this whole thing of eating like that, because it takes time, and the benefits of it is great. I remember when I was like full blown, I got there, right? I got full blown vegan, right? I was there. I would wake up 6 o'clock in the morning doing jumping jacks, wake up, woo, let's do some jumping jacks, right? Go for a jog. I was ready to go, right? So there's a lot of health benefits to it. And to be honest, because we didn't think we could have kids, it was during that process we were able to have a baby, right? So it does impact your body in positive ways, what you put into it, right? And I try to tell the kids I teach, I'm like, Miss Smith, you want some of these chips? I'm like, oh, what's in them? Chips supposed to be made of potatoes.
Right.
And I make them read the labels, and it's funny because they can't read the words. Mr. Smith, what does this say? Like, if you can't read it, I can't read it. And that's what you put in your body. So it's all about the realization of, what we're eating. And, a lot of the stuff that they approve is safe. It's never healthy, right? In other words, I can eat this and I won't die, right? And that's kind of how all the food is. But if you eat a lot of that stuff over so many years, eventually it's going to catch up with you. They leave that part off the label. Like, you can have a bag of chips today, but don't have a bag of chips 365 days for 10 years, because that 11th year might not come, right? They leave that part out. And people think that in that moment, it's okay to eat it, but we don't recognize that, this is like my 12th Whopper in the past 3 months. Yeah. That's a lot of Whoppers, right? It's a lot of beef. So
I think what changed my mind about food was that when I was younger, in my teenage years, I can go to the corner store and get a bag of Flamin' Hots for like a quarter. I lived in Austin, the West Side. I can get it every day, all day, a quarter. But something changed in my mindset when I went a few blocks down to Oak Park, and I realized they didn't sell that kind of stuff.
Yeah, right. That's real.
Yeah, over there I can get broccoli or apples or organic food or whatever. And I thought to myself, well, why can't I find these Flamin' Hots in Oak Park every corner? Well, when I go to my neighborhood, I can get Doritos, Flamin' Hots. I can get,
So no, that's so true, because where I live, there is no place to buy that. I mean, I go to Jewel and get it. It's a grocery store, but there's no other place around here where I can buy it. We got a little boutique restaurants and places where you get all your health stuff. So, I mean, like what you're saying is real. And I try to talk to my students about that stuff too. And people don't really recognize stuff like this. Like where I live right now, we just say Jewel. There's about 8 Jewels within a 5-mile radius around where I live at. My school that I teach at, there's no Jewels within a 5-mile radius. There's one grocery store, and it's about 8 miles away from my school. And that's the only one for an entire community. I mean, like, when we think of like all the issues that go on in so many places, like we fail to realize the circumstances under which different people, and it's so weird to say different people, right? Live in different parts of the city. Like we assume what's going on in my neighborhood is reflective of everything. And just in Chicago, that's just not the case. And it's sad that so many of us like live in our bubbles and like we understand what happens outside of it, but we're so quick to judge um, what happens in other parts of the city, just the city itself, without really taking a closer look um, at some of the is beyond challenges that people face. It's insane. Like flaming hots, like really, there, like it's a school right here on the corner. It's another school probably 6 blocks away. There's no corner stores with flaming hots around these schools. I mean, that's real. It's a nice little coffee shop that sells all like healthy stuff that's really overpriced. It's a coffee shop here, some empanada place there, right? It's a world apart, and you travel 10 miles, it's totally different.
Yeah, somebody said to me, like I asked them, why don't you eat healthy? And they said, it's just too expensive. And when you think about the cost, people forget about the cost of the medical condition that you're going to have 10 to 20 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
It's more expensive, like, paying this 75 cents more for this healthier food than or diabetes or hypertension or high blood pressure medication. Like, so whenever somebody said, well, the healthy food is just too expensive, I'm like, you're going to really pay for it,
Well, I mean, the problem to that is don't provide hospitals. Like in that same neighborhood where there's one grocery store, there are no hospitals either. So who cares about health and eating?
There's two of my neighborhood over here, 2 hospitals.
Oh yeah, it's one right up the street from me, man. It was one day I had cut my hand. I ain't gonna tell you what happened, but I cut my hand. You know what T-box is? This is a long time ago.
Yeah, I do.
So I cut my hand. I'm like, oh snap! I should probably get this checked on, right? And Audrey's like, oh, you're fine. I'm like, no, I'm not. I need to go to the doctor. So I drive myself there, and like I'm thinking ER, I'm gonna be in there for hours. I just walk right in. Oh, hello, how are you? Got your insurance card? Yes. I give it to them. I sit down. As soon as I sit down, they call me to come be seen, right? And it's just simple things like that we don't realize that isn't as simple for other people, right?
Yeah.
And it's messed up that we're so quick to say other things instead of saying, man, this is really messed up. How can we fix this structurally? And it's just, the people who come into power, in my personal opinion, they're just managers, right? They lack the vision to systematically change a system, right? That they know is difficult to go through. All right, you don't even got to be black, right? You can be a woman, you can be gay, you can be poor. Like it's difficult, it's hard. And a lot of people in power struggle to get there. And once they get there, they're just really happy in their individual success that they're not willing to actually build structures or tear down structures that allow the people who got them there, people who rely on them to make a difference, actually make a difference. Like they feel really happy when they just manage the system as it is. Like, oh my God, we were able to come within the budget this year. And it's like, that budget doesn't, oh, my phone, you found it. Oh, thank you. What was it?
You don't want to know.
I don't want to know.
It's under the baby wipes.
Under the baby wipes.
You literally just have to pick up the wipes and do that and boom, it's there.
Like on the counter, this phone's been on the counter the whole time.
Yeah.
And I've been looking in cars, under couches, it's been on the counter.
Blame it on the baby.
Under baby wipes. Well, I found my phone, Frank.
See, that's good. That's good. You all need your own reality show.
You know what? I don't think people will find it interesting.
Okay.
But if you thought that conversation was interesting about my phone, I found it, then, maybe. And I looked everywhere. Where were the baby wipes? Oh, I'm sorry. You might have to pause this. So where were they? The kitchen counter, right there.
What do you tell everybody
What I do every day? I told him.
them.
I told you I lose my keys while. Did I tell you that? I told him that. I told him that. What game? Oh, the sticker game. Okay. So we started a sticker game. So I feel Audrey picks on me because I'm an easy target. Okay. I really do. I feel she makes fun of me and I don't point it out.
Okay.
I don't because I'm a gentleman.
All right.
And she makes fun of me all the time. Like she always makes fun of me. And I don't say anything. But if I say one thing, oh my God, you know, you know, how to say held and froze over. I can't believe you said that. So I wanted to prove to her that she makes fun of me more than I make fun of her. So we have a mom calendar and it comes with stickers, right? So every time she makes fun of me, she gets a sticker. No, I get a sticker. Anytime I make fun of her, she gets a sticker.
All right.
And we're gonna count the stickers up to see who makes fun of each other the most. I mean, the only way to figure out if this is true or not is to look at it.
Right.
And
who is winning right now?
and I'm not winning. So so maybe I was wrong. Yeah.
In a whole different way. I thought it was gonna end a whole different way.
No, I'm losing by like, how many I'm losing by 7? I got it today a bunch of times. And you know, you've been with somebody so long, you just say stuff.
Yeah.
You don't realize you're saying it, and it's like, damn, that was me making fun of you. So I guess I get a sticker. Yeah, I definitely am losing. My idea to prove that she was right. I guess I'm okay with it though. I'm a man. I can handle it. You know, I can admit when I was wrong, and when the game is over, we'll see who's winning. She's winning now. The game is still going on. We haven't decided an end date. Okay. So as soon as I catch up and take the lead, that's when the game gonna end to show to her that I was telling the truth. But that way is going, we're gonna be playing this game for the next 60 years or something. So yeah.
All right. Well, let me thank you for joining me on our.
Oh, that's it. Oh man.
Episode. All right. Now you know I've got to have you back for the 100th episode now. So
nice. I gotta wait.
When I get you on, I always boost my ratings. So I feel like I'm using you to boost ratings. But
nah, I like talking to you, Frank. It's fun. Like it's over. I guess we have been talking for a minute though, haven't we?
Yes, and I'm going to.
I didn't realize that. Hopefully, it was interesting.
Yes, I like ending it on time. That way, people want to come back for more. Like they did the last.
Oh,
time.
That makes sense. Yeah, you gotta do that because if stuff starts to drag, you fall asleep like that game. I fell asleep. I shouldn't say that because I was at work. Oh my God, I just incriminated myself. I plead the fifth. But I fell asleep.
Next time we get together, though, the next time we get together, we'll be on Roku. We'll be on millions of household TV channels. So
I don't know about doing TV, man.
But you got the lighting now. You got the lighting and everything.
Yeah, I figured out the light. I can get all this together. Though. I got the white. I got to put something pretty back there next.
Like mine. Yeah, I've seen something like maybe in the Caribbean or on a cruise.
Yeah, you like cruises, man. You know that. You know, watch out. Get your shot.
I'm not going anytime. I'm not going.
Oh, okay, yeah. I know they talking about bringing them back.
Yes,
but that that's a little concerning.
Yes, I've been pushing it back and pushing it back. And they've been offering me money to keep going. They offered me almost $1,000 spending money when I do go, free, just I can spend on the ship just for not canceling, just transferring.
Really? So how does that work? They give you cash, or is it like credit?
It's a credit, but you can spend it. You can spend it on drinks. You can spend it off the ship. You can spend it anywhere. It's like $1,000. You can spend
wow.
It. So I'm
can't cash it in, can you? So I can use $1,000.
No. And I would invest it. I would let it grow. But yes, we'll get together on our 100th episode, which would be amazing. And yes, again, you'll probably be you won't be married by then, will you?
The way it's going, we don't even know, man. Hopefully next year sometime we can actually like have the wedding. That's the goal. But when you get kids, you get coronavirus, the world, you know, has its
I
own
wonder
plan.
if anybody named their kid Corona this year. I'm curious. If anybody named their.
That's an interesting name.
Period.
Isn't it like it's, I don't know what it means. I shouldn't say. I don't know.
I wonder if anybody named it, but
I wouldn't do that.
I need to go for this cuts out. But thank you very much. Will you be back at a concert or something like that, or Wrigley or anything? Or
I mean, I think it might work next weekend. We'll see.
Data company. Good luck with that. So I won't be there for that one. But
I don't know about that. It's a tough concert to work. You know, and then add coronavirus on top of it, it'll be even more difficult. Even though they're making everybody do the vaccines, right? Before you come, I think that's pretty smart.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a tough concert to work. I don't know if they can pay me enough to come do that. All right, y'all got time and a half today. If we get time and a half for Dead and Company, I mean, I think I can put a hazmat suit on, come out there. I would do it. Time and a half. I don't know. It's a tough concert.
Yeah. So all right.
Money we ain't. You know? That's how I look at it. Like, you making all this money. Can I get a piece? All right. Give me a piece of it. I'll be there. Right.
Yeah, you're right.
And coronavirus working, you making all the money. I'm getting hourly pay. I shouldn't. Is this be delete this part?
Yeah, be real, but
I mean, really, leave it on it. No, leave it on it. No. Yeah, whatever.
All right, but we're out of here. Thank you all for listening, and we'll catch you all on the next episode of the podcast.